What's your immediate reaction to your son smashing Conor Benn around the face with an egg?
This is not the behavior I understand. Where did that come from? I'm supposed to be his example. But I spoke with him a few days ago and he said to me about this egg thing. He said, Dad, he's a cheat. Okay, and we're promoting the fight. And these people have me under a great deal of pressure and the environment is very messy. And I got pulled in. In doing that, yes, I premeditated it because these people are all over me telling me that my dad doesn't like me. It's me alone, Dad. So, that's what I thought I'd do and I've justified it. He supposedly had some type of chemical which is born of eggs and I was going to let him know because he's been very cruel to me in terms of his language, as is also the promoters and Conor's father. I've not been there for this reason, Mr. and Mrs. Public. 4 or 5 years ago, he wanted to do it his way. And so what I did, I cut cold and let him do it his way. So now he knows. So now he's speaking the language I would speak. Perhaps I'm a little bit more eloquent. My son is good. My son is Christopher Livingston Eubank Jr. is remarkable to have actually navigated this quagmire. He said to me this. He said, Dad, he said, people aren't like you. What you're about is not what boxing's about today. He said, these people swearing and being rude and he said, this is normal today. The world you knew, Dad, doesn't exist anymore. To which I said, help me, because we are Great Britain. That's who we are. I don't care what they're doing. We have to bring them into a straight line. Because where this country is going with this behavior, the warriors, the gladiators are who set the bar for how people behave in the community. We are the standard bearers. I told him, help me. Help me. And everyone hearing that, Anthony Joshua called me the other day. I told him, you are an example to those youngsters coming up behind you. Your language is not good. Bad language is low vibrational. There's nothing great about bad language. Now, I use bad language, but you'll never hear me use it in public. Maybe once. We have a kingdom to bring up, to uplift. And the way it's done isn't by money and me, look at my social media, look at who. No, it's done by example. And if I'm what they refer to as, old school and, oh yeah, that was yesterday. No, it wasn't yesterday. This is today. This is new. I don't watch a lot of news, very little in fact. And I heard the other day this Irish UFC fighter spat in the face of someone who said something unkind to him. Spat in his face. Is this what we are? Is this who we are? Is this what we're going to teach? I'm the big I am, and I'm the big guy from Ireland. I'm the Celtic warrior. And you spit in the face of a stranger. This is the example you are teaching the youth in Ireland. This is disgraceful. We can't do that. We have to understand the consequences of it. You're turning your own people or people who love you because of your, let's say, your style and your braggadocious ways or your brazenness. Throwing a chair at a coach, showing the madman that you are. Madman, but I say that in a celebratory type way because, I've looked at your behavior and I've said to myself, well, the guy's entertaining, but if you're going to go and spit in the man's face, you're proving yourself to be what we knew is behind that type of behavior. We can't do that. So, going back to my son, I said to my son, help me. Help me. I need the community at large. Trust huddle. My trust huddle. You know, the huddle is the United Kingdom. That's Northern Ireland, that's Southern Ireland, that's Wales, that's Scotland, and that's England. The United Kingdom. Yeah, I know Southern Ireland is a republic. I understand. We are British in our way. The Irish, let me tell you, I love, love, love a very intelligent people, a strong nation. Ireland, you have to bring your man back into line. Tell your story. I tried to help him. Yeah. When he fought Floyd Mayweather Jr., I went over. I was in Vegas on business for my son. Now, let me tell you, I seeked him out and found him. When I found him, I said, may I have a word with you? And I spoke to him in private. One of my sons was actually with me. And I tried to speak to him about the method he should use. This was the day before the fight. To perhaps even win the fight. Why would I do this? Am I against Floyd Mayweather? No, I'm a fighter. I want fairness. Okay, because obviously it is like a 4-year-old fighting a man. I want to be entertained. So I'm saying to myself, I'm going to give him this advice because obviously it's a farce. He wouldn't take my advice. He said to me, I've got a few tricks. It dawned upon me at that moment that he's a fighter. The fighter has already made up his mind. They'll never change their minds. You need a strong mind to win. And he had a very strong mind, but incapable of actually delivering punishment or skill sets that could even come a mile within being able to do anything to, the maestro, Floyd Mayweather Jr. What I was going to tell him is watch the blueprint to beating Floyd Mayweather Jr., the blueprint you will find in the second fight against Steve Collins. If you watch that fight, that's how you beat him. You have to be a complete madman. In the fight, you saw him get into a clinch and he was banging him on the top of the head. This is an MMA fighter, not a boxer. This art, this craft, and this way of life is not for UFC fighters. It doesn't work. So when you see them matching against each other, that's theatrics. And we, the public, all this hype. I always watch the World Cup because everyone's talking about it. So when you hype something, everyone will, I'm taking an interest. Oh, that's very interesting. Everyone has a view on what's going on because everyone's talking about it. But there's no substance there. I gave you the advice, or what I could give you, what you allowed me to give you, which was nothing. I didn't even tell you. You said, no, I've got it under control. I've got a few tricks up my sleeve. You need more than tricks for a man like that. What did I want? I wanted to be entertained. It would have been beautiful to see you actually use the blueprint that Steve used to beat me in the second fight. The second fight that Steve had against me was an extraordinary theatrical play. He was brilliant because he was nothing but pure energy. Crying, tears coming down his eyes before the bell rang, and ran into me and kept on running into me, which is the only way you can beat a man like Floyd Mayweather if you are of the skill sets that you are as a UFC fighter. Okay, if I got emotional, pay it no mind. It's an emotional subject matter. We are Great Britain. Okay, every subject in this United Kingdom has a duty to uphold the standards, the principles and the prerequisites that Queen Elizabeth II installed in her own behavior. Elegant, well-spoken, decent. All this bad language, all these potty mouths. Where did you come from? How is that? And do you look at me and say, well, Mr. Eubank, you're a bit weird. You're an eccentric. You're an eccentric. Well, if that's what I am, it's so much better than actually being someone who has no control over their tongue. Potty mouths are telling you that they are little children. That's right. And I say it to you kindly, with truth. I speak with passion because this is what we should be about. Because this is what I am. I can't change it. I wouldn't want to change it. I can't change it. This is who we are. I believe in Great Britain. Okay, all right, enough. Okay, thank you.